This is BBC One for the South East. Now the news at 1 o'clock with Nina Warhurst and Hannah Gray.
Today at 1, Poland's Prime Minister says the country's at its closest point to open conflict since World War II. Donald Tusk said a huge number of Russian drones were shot down over Polish airspace overnight during strikes on western Ukraine. Sir Keir Starmer has called it a barbaric act that violates NATO airspace. Did Israel break the law with its strike on Qatar? Officials in Doha say they're looking at whether international rules were breached. Also on the programme, 3 people die and 3 are missing as they try to cross the channel on a small boat. At least 23 migrants have now drowned while making the journey this year. An albatross around my neck. Veteran Labour politician and UK ambassador to the US, Peter Mandelson, says he's embarrassed by his letters to Jeffrey Epstein.
I regret very much that I fell for his lies. He's a charismatic criminal liar.
The blood test that could revolutionise Alzheimer's diagnoses. Scientists say it will improve treatment and quality of life for families.
In the southeast, relatives of Air India crash victims say they still lack answers about a mix-up with their loved ones' remains. And the latest from Dover after 3 people died trying to cross the channel overnight.
The time is 18 minutes past 1. Our top story this afternoon. Poland's Prime Minister says the country's at its closest point to open conflict since World War II. It's after a number of Russian drones were shot down over Polish airspace overnight, something Sir Keir Starmer has called a barbaric attack. Coming up, the universities of Greenwich and Kent join forces to cut costs and become the UK's first super university. But critics have described the move as a takeover and say the government needs to intervene in what it calls a higher education crisis.
In the southeast, we'll find out why 10-year-old Charlie is performing trick shots for a rehabilitation centre in Crawley.
And this afternoon there will be more showers. They clear overnight tonight, but returning through the day tomorrow.
We'll be back with you from Salford soon. But now on BBC One, time to join our colleagues with the news where you are.
Thanks, Nina. The headlines in the southeast today. Relatives of Air India crash victims say they still lack answers about a mix-up with their loved ones' remains.
Getting them home was like, yes, okay, it's done, at least we have them. And then to find out that no, actually a blunder's been made, but then there's no accountability or responsibility taken from anyone right now.
3 people have died trying to cross the channel overnight. Simon Jones is live for us in Dover this lunchtime. And we'll be finding out why 10-year-old Charlie is performing trick shots for a specialist rehabilitation centre in Crawley. Welcome to the programme. I'm Hannah Gray. First this lunchtime, the families of people who died when an Air India plane crashed shortly after taking off in June say they still lack answers about why their relatives' remains were mixed up. Miten Patel, whose parents died on the flight, says Indian officials are yet to apologise after a UK coroner found other remains in his mother's casket. Oliver Whitfield-Miocic has been speaking to him.
You wake up every morning thinking, I'll pop round to mum and dad's, and you can't, they're not there.
Navigating grief amid a lack of information. It was hard enough when Miten Patel lost his parents in the Air India crash in June, but his sorrow deepened when another passenger's remains were sent back with his mother's. 3 months on, he still doesn't know why.
Getting them home was like, yes, okay, it's done, at least we have them. And then to find out that no, actually a blunder's been made, but then there's no accountability or responsibility taken from anyone right now. Has that been looked into? Where has that error part been notified? Where did it happen? Nothing.
We are at the airport, just boarding.
The family of Fingal Greenlaw Meek have told the BBC they were also sent the wrong coffin, which is understood to have caused a diplomatic incident between London and Delhi. The Indian government has previously stated that the bodies were handled with the utmost professionalism. Mitten says he feels left uninformed by the authorities in the UK too, after police officers who had been supporting the bereaved were withdrawn. He was told the Foreign Office would reach out, but he hasn't heard anything so far.
They're well aware of the families, they're well aware of the contacts for those families. They should really be getting in touch with us to say, look, going forward, the family liaison officers are no longer going to be supporting, but don't worry, we're here to support you. That would be nice to get.
In response, the Foreign Office said staff continue to support the families and loved ones in line with our consular remit. We've allocated dedicated caseworkers to each family who wish to have one. Meanwhile, lawyers representing 25 British victims have started the legal process to sue Air India in the High Court. But relatives say compensation comes secondary to getting the truth in a timely manner.
The families are not happy. They want more information from the Indian authorities. At the moment, that hasn't been forthcoming, so they're not in a good place.
In the absence of updates, Mitten is drawing on precious memories with a heavy heart.
Dad was always one with a smile on his face. Mum was just the most loving, caring mum you can ever think of. You just miss him a lot. A lot.
Oliver Whitfield-Miocic, BBC South East Today.
Next this lunchtime, 3 people, 2 believed to be children, have died overnight off the coast of Calais as they attempted to reach Kent. French media has reported that they were on a boat which had 38 people on board. This follows the death of a woman yesterday also trying to make the crossing. Our reporter Simon Jones is in Dover. Simon, what more can you tell us?
Well, this time yesterday there was a major rescue operation taking place out there mid-channel after a boat broke up and flung people into the water. A woman was airlifted to Dover, but she was pronounced dead. But despite that death, it didn't stop people attempting the crossing once again this morning. Hundreds of people setting off from beaches in northern France. On one boat, 3 people were crushed to death. On another boat, people ended up in the water. 3 people are missing, presumed dead. And I think one really striking thing is the French authorities said the death toll could have been a lot higher, because they actually found one boat which had 115 people crammed onto it. That's believed to be a record for a single dinghy. Now the weather has worsened. It's very windy here in Dover today, and looking at the forecast, it's expected to be windy for the next week or so. That may have been the reason why there were so many crossing attempts this morning. Almost 2,000 people making the journey in the past 5 days.
Simon in Dover, thank you. The UK's first ever super university is to be created through the merger of the universities of Kent and Greenwich in an attempt to improve financial stability. Under the proposed name of London and South East Universities Group, the institution will officially start operating next August. The Office for Students says other universities may explore similar options as they battle economic challenges, with 40% of English universities now believed to be in financial deficit. Now, the trick shots of 10-year-old Charlie Fielding from Sussex have inspired a social media challenge to help fundraise money for people needing physical therapy. At 18 months old, a spinal cord injury left Charlie unable to move his lower body. Since 2017, he's been going to a special rehabilitation centre in Crawley to help keep up his strength. Well, now he's helping other people to access this support, and Ian Palmer has been to find out more.
Charlie Fielding loves a trick shot. Charlie was born premature. At 18 months, a spinal injury left him unable to move his lower body. In 2019, he developed leukemia. Charlie comes to the NeuroConnects Rehabilitation Centre in Crawley a couple of times a week.
He's a really sort of bubbly, positive, enthusiastic sort of 10-year-old little boy, really. probably seen him so far with his sessions. He's always got a smile. He has these guys eating out of the palm of his hand. But it's, it might sound cliche and cheesy, but he is really sort of inspirational because he doesn't let anything he's kind of been through get him down.
Shall we get you into kneeling?
Yeah.
All right, are you ready?
Yeah.
Can you put your tummy up towards this way?
The NeuroConnects program works by stimulating the nervous system. Here, Charlie works his upper body while his lower body is being supported. The charity has a step-up program where the injured are offered 6 free sessions, but the classes are expensive.
Okay, right, let's nail this.
Enter Charlie Fielding, who came up with the idea of the Top Bins Small Wins Challenge. The aim is to raise money so as many people as possible can benefit from the intensive treatment. The world champion Paralympic wheelchair rugby player Kylie Grimes has lent her support by posting her Top Bins trick. Yes. Classes cost £80 an hour. The therapy is only available in Sussex and Hertfordshire.
We've definitely seen a good maintenance of Charlie's muscle mass. We haven't seen any wasting, which is really good. And we are seeing kind of a maintenance of strength, which is great.
As Charlie continues to grow, more surgery will be needed. When that happens, it's hoped this groundbreaking unique treatment will be there to support the next step of his development. Ian Palmer, BBC South East Today, Crawley.
Oh, brilliant work, Charlie. All right, then it's time to take a look at the weather now. Here's Nina.
Hi, Hannah. Thank you very much. We started off the week dry with some sunshine, but all change today. Showers from the word go. Plenty more to come this afternoon and plenty through the day tomorrow as well. So the showers tend to come and go. There will be some dry spells in between. A little cloudy today. It's blustery, some strong winds and temperatures down at around 17 to 18 degrees. We keep the wet weather going through this evening, but gradually overnight tonight the showers will clear, and for many tomorrow morning starts off dry with temperatures at around 8 to 9 degrees. So a little bit of early brightness, but then the showers start to develop. A scattering of showers through the day tomorrow. Perhaps not quite as many as we've got today, but still some could be on the heavy side. When we get a bit of brightness in between the showers, temperatures at 18 to 19 degrees. But those low pressure systems keep on coming. So through the weekend continues to be pretty unsettled, and we could have some heavy rain arriving later on Sunday. So the outlook keeps the clouds, keeps the showers, with those temperatures sitting in the high teens, Hannah.
Thanks very much. That's all from South East Today. Now it's back to Nina Warhurst with the rest of the BBC News at 1.